Okay, welcome back again to some Napoleon Total War action. It's going to be on the Galician Ria map. Myself versus a Russian named player, but that's unfortunately his name is not actually going to be displayed at all during the game itself. Actually, no, well, neither players' names are really, because I don't know. So that's a bizarre design choice, but whatever. But in any case, yeah, his name was not even in the loading screen, which kind of sucks. But we'll just call him the Nameless One. So Nameless One versus myself playing as the Ottomans. I'm not too familiar with the Ottomans, but they do have some rather nifty swordsmen, to say the least. Very nifty indeed. Vulnerable. The swordsmen are vulnerable to cavalry, but we do have our own cavalry to supplement that. Oh, no lancers though, apparently. Do we have Nizam-i Kedits though, it's a bit of rifle cavalry, or whatever you want to call them, but there you go. So just skip past the deployment phase, or whatever they want to call it in game. I'm sure they have some fancy word for it, like le déplomer fazo croissant or something, but anyway. Deploying my guys slowly but surely. Baji bazooks actually already spread out like light infantry. The swordsmen have also got slightly better swordsmen somewhere. The Kamat Janissaries. So a bit of a mistake on my behalf actually, kind of putting them on the line with my line infantry and such. Because these guys, these swordsmen, they do not have any ranged attack at all, so... What the hell, we'll see what happens though. My opponent on the other hand is playing as the Russians. So as you can see, he's got a nice little mixture of troops and cavalry. He's oh yeah, he's also got some lancers as well, of course. Uhlans, they're basically lancers, and Prince de Tolle as the commander. Very spiffing indeed, just like in the previous game actually. And funnily enough, we're going to be seeing grenadiers somewhere. Okay, Pavlovsk grenadiers being used. Well, they weren't used particularly well last game. Will they be used this game to any good effect? We'll have to wait and see what happens. My troops also going to be advancing along a very broad front, so the idea basically is to, basically to try to envelop them and crush them. We'll see what happens. Have to make sure that my cavalry is not that far behind, and of course the previous version of myself, the past version of myself, happens to hear that, and going to be sending in the cavalry forward, indeed. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a battle of maneuver. And we'll see what happens though. As you can see, we do have quite a bit of cover to be used. Actually no, we do have a few buildings. But it's mostly going to be the forests that actually define this landscape. Don't really have too much in terms of passable terrain. Just some water off to the sides. Yeah, pretty much all the terrain's passable. We do have terrain variations though. Okay, that's right. Anyway, we do have terrain variations, a bit of that, so... and I believe, terrain does actually block shots, unlike in, say, Dawn of War, in the Dawn of War series, where terrain does not block shots at all. In the engine, even, so you can't just mod it in to block shots. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it does in this game. Not only that, actually, but if one of your bullets, for example, misses an enemy, then it'll actually... the bullet will continue travelling, and it can possibly hit... something else, so either one of your own guys or even one of the enemy guys behind whoever you missed. So not too bad when it comes to I suppose simulating bullet physics and all that jazz. But in any case, as you can see, starting to form up a bit of a concave, and as for my opponent, he is mostly going to be camping out in the forest apparently. Just camping there. So I think to keep in mind of forests, of course, is that they do provide concealment, and unlike Wargame Red Dragon, they also provide cover as well from bullets. But actually they don't provide any cover in Wargame Red Dragon, so sucks. But well, that's not the game we're playing. Although I did actually play that a bit earlier on. Might cast a couple of replays from that at some point. Not right now though, because right now we've got a good old Russian versus Ottoman game, which I think we'll fast forward a bit actually, because I mean really all we're seeing here is just a bit of posturing, shuffling infantry around, getting them into a good position, trying to envelop my opponent, and yeah, just getting my cavalry up. Let's see, just have a look at the mini-map. Yeah, we do actually have... never mind. Yeah, I think all the cavalry is concentrated here. We're going to be sending it around. Oh no, never mind, we actually do have a couple of Silahtar guards there, so they're the heavy cavalry guys, just in case. But I think I'm mostly... yeah, it looks like I'm mostly just going to be reacting to the push on my, on my left flank, actually. So my opponent... what is he going to be pushing with? Looks like Uhlans, musketeers, more musketeers. So no elite infantry though. He does have some stuff hidden in the bush, but yeah, nothing really in terms of elites though. Over there anyway, from what I can tell, just musketeers, which aren't too bad. But yeah, some elites, they just help with morale as well. Actually, morale of nearby friendly troops. But yeah, well. And yeah, there we go. I don't know if you actually saw that in the video, but yeah, rewind a few seconds otherwise. But yeah, we actually had some infantry disappear, poof, into midair, well, into these forests basically, before our very eyes. So there you go. So I can't remember what actually was there beforehand, but I'm sure I'll be getting a nice little surprise when I actually start to attack, which is going to be pretty soon, it seems. Yep, moving my lines slowly but surely, and yeah, Russian Jaegers are going to have an interesting time, actually. Here we go, Lifeguard horses are going to be counter-charging, and we'll see how this works out. They're going to be charging, presumably after my Bashu bazooks. No, going straight for my Kamat Janissaries, and yeah, this is what I was talking about when it comes to these guys being vulnerable to cavalry. You're going to be seeing that in just a second, but thankfully I do have my Silahtar guard coming in as well, and yeah, they're just going to pummel. Okay, well, I did see the Lifeguard horse, their morale go down rapidly, and they just went back up again for some reason, not entirely sure why, given what they have on their ass. But anyway, they come out Januaries, they do lose a few guys, but nothing too significant. Lifeguard horses are losing a few guys here and there, so it's just a bit of a tit for tat at the moment. We do have a bit of a threat from the opposite flank, but at the moment most of the action seems to be happening around here. Going to be counter-charging with my Bashi bazooks. Nope, I'm not. Okay, well, so much for that. I might have been doing that. We'll see what happens though. I could just be bringing up my Kadit rifle light infantry. We'll see what happens. Okay, we've got some mounted rifles coming in here. And, oh, actually, here we go. We do actually have battle being joined on my left... actually, well, it's my left flank, but on the map it's on the right. So, we'll just call it my left flank. Fuck it. And, we'll see what happens though. The Uhlans charging into my musketeers, barely Janissary musketeers, which actually are very nifty musketeers. Their shooting stats are not that great for cost, but their melee stats are pretty good. Unfortunately, yeah, they actually are line infantry, so they can form into a square, but they can't form into a square when they're under attack. Well, like line infantry in general, they can't form into a square when they're actually under attack, which kind of sucks. But going to be counter-charging with my Silahtar guard, and yeah, just driving these guys back. Unfortunately, I did lose quite a few of my musketeers there. Same time, my Bashi bazooks going to be counter-charging my opponent's forces, and yeah, see what happens though. They are in square formation, which I don't know if that's actually more effective against regular infantry as well as cavalry. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's just mostly more effective against cavalry, but doesn't seem to make too much of a difference anyway because of the amount of crap that I'm sending his way. It looks like my swordsmen bashing into their lines and then my cavalry following up from behind. Probably should be sending the cavalry elsewhere though, but yeah, I'm not really sure how effective the box formation or square formation actually is against melee infantry. But there you go, we do have Nasru melee happening, to say the least. These musketeers are definitely doing a great job holding their own. They're definitely providing a great accounting of themselves. There we go, can't resist using that word. But at the same time, my general is charging... Indeed. My general's charging straight into the melee. Not usually a good idea, to say the least. He did... Okay, I think I just used the rally ability there, so just getting my squads back up to full morale, so... Huzzah, I suppose. But yeah, they're definitely going to have their work cut out for them. As these musketeers, well, they could actually redeploy, try to target these guys, but no, instead they're just going to shoot at the Russian musketeers and yeah, possibly my own guys in the back. So there you go, there's that happening. At the same time, I do have my cadet infantry in the house, and basically not going to be doing much there. Okay, so basically the main battle is now swung over to my left flank here. Charges and counter charges all over the place. Unfortunately, I just lost a squad of, I think the Bashi Bazooks, possibly, and thankfully my commander's still alive. General, whatever. Cadet rifles continuing to shoot as well, and there we go, finally getting these guys into an arsenal melee there. Have to be careful though. Oh my god, again I screw up and don't put these guys into a box formation, square formation. Very nasty indeed, but I think the lifeguard horses are mostly going after my general, and if I'm not careful actually I might actually lose him. We'll see what happens though. At the same time, yeah, my guard, my cavalry getting destroyed by these guys in square as well, so yeah, definitely a bit of back and forth action. My opponent does have a narrow lead on me, but it's still anyone's game at this point. Have to be very careful though. Yeah, definitely starting to run low on the yep, there goes my general. I was saying starting to run out of bodyguards, my general, and yeah, he's down. There goes the guard. There goes the whole command squad, and the lifeguard horse is still running just fine and dandy. Ouch. Yeah, well, lifeguard horse did suffer immensely, but yeah, the fact that, and not to mention, I believe that was the top tier general as well that that thingamajiggies can get.
We've taken the building, sir.
Okay. Anyway, that the Ottomans can get as well, actually. So definitely a great loss. As you can see, the morale pretty much across the board. Well, okay, morale for a bit, and then here basically seems to be the effect, the end of the effect there. Yeah, the morale across the board has definitely decreased pretty sharply, but at the same time we do have, well, we hold on to this building, so these guys will be just being, well, they'll just be a bit of a thorn in our opponent's side. They will get whittled down slowly but surely, but at the very least they're in a bit of a stronghold at the moment. And I'm actually pushing into my opponent's little makeshift fortress that they have here. I've even got my Bashi Bazooks coming in because why not? And lifeguard foots though, yeah, they're going to definitely, indeed, they're going to do a great job versus my Bashi Bazooks, unfortunately. But here come my cavalry to countercharge them and maybe go up against the grenadiers as well. We'll see what happens though. Just got a bloody melee happening all over the place. My Silahata guards just charging as much as they can, and yeah, still got some Bashi Bazooks and more Kamat Janissaries coming in, taking pot shots, probably hitting my guys a bit of the time, but what the hell, I'm slowly but surely managing to whittle down my opponent's forces on the on my right flank there. Middle, not much happening there, but
our men are running, sir.
Indeed. But there we go, at least I did manage to somewhat equalise the distribution of power there, so it's roughly equal. I think my opponent still has a tiny advantage, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely nothing too significant. Still have to be careful though, definitely, given how, yeah, how things are on a bit of a knife's edge in terms of power balance. Definitely don't want to make too many false moves, to say the least. We'll see what happens though. Thankfully though, my opponent is leaving his musketeers in a bit of a blockish formation, and my own guys are in a bit more of a line formation, so they definitely can pour quite a bit more fire into these musketeers. But unfortunately, yeah, my guys are starting to rout here and there. It definitely sucks, to say the least. My Bashi Bazooks and my Kamat Janissaries is definitely doing a good job keeping the musketeers... Indeed. Anyway, the musketeers busy, and yeah, keeping them dead as well. Very nicely done indeed. These guys trying to charge them, but not going to help out too much, to say the least. Russian Jaegers also being forced to retreat. Not that's really going to do them much good. I think he actually tried to retreat them so they could possibly take pot shots into my charging guys, but nope, my guys are going to have none of that, sort of, except they're charging elsewhere. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm forcing these Russian Jaegers to retreat anyway, and yeah, as you can see, these musketeers pretty much surrounded on all sides. I even got my Libyan Bajoons pummeling these guys. Nice, very good flank actually that I got going on here, to say the least. My opponent definitely needed to spread his forces out a bit better rather than just keep them in a bit of a ball. I mean, he did have a bit of an advantage in terms of, you know, being able to quickly redeploy his forces from one bit of the ball to the other, but yeah, just that envelopment is incredibly powerful in this game. Perhaps even more so than StarCraft, but anyway. Very powerful to have that concave, just like in real life actually, but usually it's better to be able to envelop your opponents, but in any case, there we go, we've got more Kamat Janissaries engaging some other guys, both of them routing at the same time. Sucks, but that's going to leave the Bashi Bazooks with the Musketeers. They could do a bit of help though. Will they get it? Probably not, but it looks like the Russian Jaegers are charging in possibly to provide a bit of help. We'll see what happens though. Gotta love how the flags are also obscured by the forests. It's really annoying to say the least when that happens, but what the hell is these guys once again managing to reform, and there we go. Maybe provide a good account of themselves. Or maybe not actually, because as you can see we do have my own guys sort of surrounding them a bit there. These Kerit infantry and the Libyan Badoons could stand to maybe go a little bit more around to get these guys from the flank, but whatever, we'll see what happens though. Same time we do have yeah, Cadet infantry and Libyan Badoons charging into the building at the same time as we've got the Grenadiers and the Lifeguard Foots charging in as well, maybe to provide a good account of themselves. We'll see what happens though. It's interesting actually just having them charging in both at the same time. Oh, there we go, even fighting each other as they charge into the only door of the entire structure apparently. Or is there another door here? Nope, there's only one door for the entire building. That doesn't seem too realistic, but whatever. As you can see, now these guys are just going to be charging in and having a whale of a time. As you can see, yeah, going to start whittling my guys down, which kind of sucks. But as you can see, a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of Russian Lifeguard Foots have massed outside of the building. Well, a small bunch anyway. And I believe my guys can still shoot at them. I'm pretty sure that that this still counts as them being targetable from troops fighting outside of the building. We'll see what happens though. These guys are, of course, taking forever to reload, and yeah, never mind. They came back in anyway. So, as you can see, things definitely not going in my favour in terms of that building fight. But the power bar thingy is starting to go back into my favour. And yeah, definitely a great sacrifice of the Mashu or Bashu Badooks, or whatever they were called, as well as the Kamat Janissaries. But overall though, definitely significantly weakening my opponent's hold on this little forested bit here. And yeah, we do have, well, once these guys actually get into position, we should be able to yeah, just envelop and take out these Musketeers as well as Jaegers, what I can tell. There we go. Oh my god! And he's even got them in a freaking ball here. They should not be in a bloody block formation like this. This is way too densely packed. They need to be in a bit more of a line formation. But yeah, well, what can you do? They're still riding. Indeed, they're still providing a decent account of themselves. And my Libyan Badooks are apparently out of there. Where are they actually? I think they're routing utterly. Yeah, their flags disappeared completely. My well, I don't even know what the hell those other guys were. I think they're just some regular line infantry. They got completely wiped out, so the house now belongs to the Russians, which is just freaking dandy. Yeah, well, what can you do? It looks like I've mostly moved my guys over to this this little patch of forest as well. Actually, if I'm not careful, these guys might actually get surrounded as well, since it looks like I'm confining them to this little patch of forest for the time being. We'll see what happens though. I mean, I think I'm just trying to retreat them as quickly as possible so they're not under attack by the guys in the building. Indeed. Yeah, I think that's why I just put them there, just to retreat them. And yeah, these guys are now spilling out as well after clearing it out. Wow, so much dust forming out. It's just getting out of the... it's basically phasing through the walls. That's how much dust there is. Phase dust, eh? Apparently that was a thing during the Napoleonic era, but there you go. As you can see, the Russians definitely not out of the game just yet though. We've had the power bar swing a few times this time round, and it might swing against me. Here's, well, as you can see, the Russian player, the nameless one, is starting to swing his troops around, and he might get a bit of a concave going on my guys. We'll see what happens though. Ouch. Well, so much. Oh, that was actually a pretty significant squad as well. 48 routing just like that. Man, such a shame I didn't keep the general alive. Oh well, what can you do? Maybe they'll stop routing and provide a good account of themselves. We'll see what happens. In any case, my guys are slowly but surely... Actually no, they're running. Running like their lives depend on it, and they probably do. They're running to flank these guys at the very least. Actually, I don't think these guys have got any ammunition left. Kinda wish would say here. Concerns of general dead, yeah, dude. Yeah. Kinda wish would say... Oh, no, never mind, they do still have ammunition. Kinda wish would say whether they got ammunition or not, but... okay, now I think these guys ran out of ammunition, maybe. So we'll see what happens then. They did try to flank, and they sort of did it, but yeah, now they're going to be out of ammo. And looks like, yep, they're just going to charge in for the kill. We'll see what happens though. My guys are starting to crumble a bit there. But, yeah, what the hell. I mean, they're spread out into a nice little line formation. And we do have these guys walking slowly. And, oh my god, what the hell I was thinking. What the hell was I thinking? Yeah, what the hell was I thinking? Charging them right in front of my own guys there. They're going to get shot at probably by my guys a few times there, but what the hell, doesn't matter too much, because they are going straight for the jugular. Bam, charging in from the flank, very nicely done, and forcing these Russian lifeguard foots into a nice little square formation as well, so should make my other line infantry's task a hell of a lot easier, with 3/4 basically not shooting at them. Very nicely done indeed. And what the hell, I mean, even if these guys don't really provide too much of a good account of themselves, they'll at the very least stop these guys from getting into a neat little line and firing at my own guys. So that's definitely it's got to account for something. Although these guys might actually end up shooting at these guys a little bit to get to the lifeguard foots. We'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens. These guys unfortunately being forced to retreat. That was my own order actually. They're not routing just yet. I think yeah, just was retreating them so that, you know, they can actually rebuild their morale again. And very good control actually, I'll admit, by the Russian player. As soon as I disengage, he gets his guys out of the square formation. They're very much on top of his micro there, it seems, and there we go, actually reforming them as well so that they can better target my troops. I've still got a concave happening though. Yeah, I definitely was in danger of having a concave formed against me, but nope, not anymore apparently. And yeah, well, as you can see, things are definitely going my way. The opponent definitely does still have some forces remaining, but kind of hard to see actually, because yeah, my guys are hidden in these trees. But yeah, as you can see, I'm definitely keeping him on the back foot, as it were. And yeah, just very nice little concave happening. We've got some Russian Jaegers charging me, but they're charging into the concave as well. I mean, why didn't he just charge in, you know, from the flank? I don't know. I mean, I suppose he didn't charge directly into the middle of the concave, but yeah, still a bit of a an interesting maneuver. It appears to be working though. My Nizam I credit infantry. Yeah, they are getting demoralized slowly but surely, and these guys, on the other hand, these Russian Jaegers are not demoralized, but they might just end up getting killed to the last man though, right, instead of getting demoralized though, depending on how things go. And at the same time, we do have my own line infantry. These are guys who flanked before without any ammunition, actually getting engaged by Prince d'Etoile himself. So I think the Russian player just going for a bit of a desperate
glorious victory, sir. Is soon to be yours.
A bit of a desperate charge of his cavalry, hoping that I wasn't paying attention to these guys and I wouldn't put him into a square. But thankfully, I seem to have a bit of control, seem to be on top of my micro as well. It seems, as I'm trying to say. And yeah, getting these guys in a nice little flank as well. These lifeguard foots doing absolutely nothing. Have to watch out for these grenadiers, but yeah, 2 squads of Nizami Cadet infantry. It really makes me want to say credit infantry, but cadet infantry, that should be more than enough, I think. Now it's just a matter of, yep, those guys are down. Now it's just a matter of forming up and taking out the remaining Russian forces, which is probably going to be very soon. At the very least though, kudos to the Russian player for keeping Prince d'Etoile alive throughout the battle, but really all he needed to do was just to keep him behind. And yeah, I don't think I've really made it any real serious charges on his general to try to take him out. So there you go. Yes, definitely a bit of a better tactic than what I did, which was just sending the general straight into the middle of combat and keeping him there, despite the fact that it was generally a pretty bad idea. But oh well, what can you do? These cadet infantry are a little bit isolated, to say the least, but they're going to form into a square. No. Okay, a bit of a lapse in micromanagement by myself there. Oh no, never mind, actually I'm forming into a square. What do you know? And we actually killed their general as well. So yeah, these guys, yep. They're going to rout, and these guys, the Pavlovsk Grenadiers, which should be able to take on these guys one-on-one. They might actually end up routing as well because their general was killed off recently. These guys, concerns not bad. Yeah, these guys definitely getting a bit of a morale boost, I think, from killing off that general. Not 100% sure about that, but in any case, Yeah. This is the only squad he has, and I've got several squads still. And there we go. They both actually break at the same time. Outstanding, simply outstanding. Complete annihilation. Bam. Still pretty well played game by both, actually. Showcasing the power of the Ottoman swordsmen there. Ottoman swordsmen there, should I say, not swordsmen. That's not the correct plural, but there you have it. We should go onwards to Baldur's Gate 2. Just switch over to the main screen. Okay, there we go. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that, and I shall see you all next time.